All right, so we're going to talk about a clear here. So this got sent to me. This was a clip that got sent to me by a dad. This is from Paul, and his little guy Nolan is in the cage. So big shout out to Paul and Nolan, and they might be eating dinner because I was told I was on their dinner table. So what's for dinner? Um, Jonathan Redford. I only came for the arc play. Oh man. Um, uh, Chris Kunkel. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm disgusted by parents that proudly display photos of bruises on their kids. Yep. 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 It happens. It happens. I agree. I sometimes take them down, but sometimes I just can't get to them all. Um, all right. So let's move this one. Okay. Banner here. The truth about arc play. Okay. Oh, sorry, not the truth about arc play. Sorry, Jonathan. What your goalie can do when they are flushed out of the crease. Okay. So I will play this for you. Let me just pull up Premiere Pro here, and I'll just play this through once. You guys won't hear sound, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna play it through. But the ball's at X right here. There's a long, and I know this is a little small. You might have to blow it. I tried to blow this up, but I can't get it on the resolution here. It would be too fuzzy. Okay, so here goes the clip. Goalie makes the save, gets chased out, gets tomahawked like a tree. Dad's upset. It's probably better I'm not playing the sound here. Okay, goalie comes back, drops the ball. They pick it up. Shot, score. Some good F bombs for the ref. And so I'll play it again. All right, I'll just play it again. And so ball's at X, coming inside right. Attackman's driving the cage, beats the D, turns. Nice save. Goalie's top of the crease. Love it. Goes at the back and then gets chased out and hacked like a tree. Oh, okay. And now gets double teamed. Right. And then comes back, gets checked again, drops the ball. And there we go. Okay. So I want to, so it's probably better. I don't have the audio up here. Okay. But, and for my Instagram folks, I'm sorry you're not going to see this, but if you head on over to YouTube, you can see my channel there or on my Facebook page. So I want to talk about a couple things here. So one, you know, so this is a man down situation, but there's rules that apply for the boys and the girls, even strength and man down. Okay, so the idea here is that there's a couple things to talk about here. One is, let's talk about the slashes to the arm of the goalie. So technically, getting whacked on the elbow repeatedly, even once, can be a penalty, should be a penalty. In my opinion, it should be a penalty. So, but that to me is the byproduct of bad stuff, right? So like when people ask me like, hey, should my goalie wear elbow pads? My answer is usually no. From a shot stopping perspective, I might wear an elbow pad on my off stick elbow. But lacrosse pads aren't great. It's better like hockey elbow pads. But my question is like, okay, if your goalie's getting whacked in the elbow, the question is why? And the really a goalie shouldn't have to dodge anybody, especially if the clear is good. Okay. So the first thing I'll point out here is that all of the slashes that this goalie took after he made the save right here, right, he goes at the back and he gets chased. And there's one there, two, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and it's just a mess, right? Those should all be flags, okay? And the thing is that when the goalie has the ball and gets slashed like that, if I'm a goalie and I'm in trouble and I get a flag, I'm just throwing the ball out of bounds. I'm just doing something because I know we have possession. But what sucks here is that the ref is on the other side of the field, okay? And I probably have scared out most of the refs out of this group. I apologize. I hope I still have some here. But I don't disagree with parents who yell for a call. They yell to the ref for a call, right? That is part of sport. That is part of that is part of a natural reaction of a mom or dad in the stands or fans just going like basically, where the hell's the call? That's what you're doing. Okay. So when refs go like, nobody should yell at the ref, like, no, I'm sorry. Refs need to do a better job of preparing like stuff, refs to deal with that stuff. And I hope the ref in this case goes like, dang, I totally missed that one. The 6 slashes to the elbow, right? But and so I know it's not easy, but whatever. That's my 2 cents on that. Okay. So, but the big problem I have here is that why did the goalie get stuck in this situation? Like, why is he having to run up the sideline? And this is man down. So in an even strength clear for the boys and girls, you can all do the math too. For the boys, if we're even strength, when the goalie gets the ball, it's 7-on-6, right? It's 7-on-6 on the clear. In even strength, when the goalie gets the ball, it is, everybody together now, it's 6-on-6. Okay. So what that does is that puts us into even strength. So now if the goalie has the ball and he's covered, there's a problem. Like there's now we've got a kid who is cradling with a massive stick, and he's probably not the best cradler on the team. And he's probably not the fastest kid on the team. Now, some of you have like blazing fast goalies and they can run, and we would love to have that. But even for those goalies, there's a system that we should be basically planning out here so that everybody can succeed. Now, what you guys don't hear on the tape is that when the goalie makes the save, there's a yell from the sideline that the goalie should slow it down, and that's actually the opposite of what needed to happen here. Okay, so what needs to happen is the goalie, the whole team, the whole defensive unit needs to think like, okay, if we get possession of this ball, we now have to execute our man down clear. But how many times have you worked on that in practice? Like ever? Right? Usually it's like a complete afterthought because why? Hey, we ran man up at practice, but when the goalie got the ball or we scored, we just kind of gave it back to the offense. Yeah, dumbass. Come on, coach. Let's go. Help your team. Give your team 4 seconds to figure out how to clear this thing in a man down situation. And heck, teach your attack and your middies how to ride when they're man up. Really? Brilliant. Okay. But here's the deal. The goalie, when the goalie makes a save here, this has to happen really quickly. This can't happen slowly because what needs to happen is the goalie, if they get somebody right in the goalie's face, the goalie has to use the crease. Okay. The goalie has to use the crease. And the mistake here is that the goalie pops out wide and back left. So if I draw this up here, let me just get this a little larger so I can draw on my end. Okay. So there's the goalie. Okay. But if we have a crease like this, okay, if we have a crease like this and a cage like that, goalie makes the save here. Okay. There's the goalie. This goalie needs to come. So Nolan, I hope you're enjoying dinner, Nolan. The goalie has to come back tight to this post and back this way. All right. Why? Because the attackman who's in front of the cage has to run around the crease, right? But as the goalie, we're going to come tight to this crease and then even bounce out over the top, over the point of the back of the cage and go out this way. Now we have a 5-yard advantage, 6 yards. It depends on how fast you are. Now Nolan's got the inseam of a small, I don't know, what are those look, the Ewoks? Like it's a little longer than that, Nolan, but you know what I mean, right? You're having a tough time buying jeans at the Gap. Let's put it that way, just like me. Okay. What the problem here is that what the goalie did in this case is that the goalie makes the save in the front of the crease and he backs out and he comes here. All right. And what does that attackman do? That attackman's like, okay, thank you. Now we're both running around the back of the cage because now I can't go back in the cage, right? That's in and out. That's the problem most goalies make, is that they don't use the cage to their advantage. Okay. And then they're chased. But they still have an advantage if the rest of the team is set up properly, which this team is not. Okay, so I got a question last week. Somebody, dad was like, what does my goalie do when there's a busted clear? Well, the question is like, why the hell is it busted? It's busted because there's been bad coaching in the team, and it doesn't matter. Like I've worked with young teams, like we're talking like U10. You could teach the D and the middies like how to run a good clear, right? Especially if you sell it right. Okay, but what happens here is that the goalie gets stuck, and now the dude who can buy jeans at the Gap, right, is catching him right here, like right at the back of the cage. This is not a good situation. Okay, now overall, let's look at the setup of the team. All right, you've got a defender over here who he's not going to pass to because he's covered, right? So the goal, so Nolan here is going to haul. Like the mistake Nolan makes here, though, is that he goes long to the sideline to side right, where he needs to go. And this is kind of hard to draw here, but he needs to go right up the middle of the field. That's your only chance. Why? Because I need to draw and dump. I need to because it's 6-on-6, and so he's technically drawn someone now. He's drawn this attackman, right? So now it's 6-on-6, but that attackman's behind him. So technically it's 6-on-5 or 5-on-4, depending on where he's running, and then it maps out to like 4-on-3 and 3-on-2. And so unfortunately for Nolan, what happens here is he keeps heading up the right side there. Hopefully you guys can still see that. And if I shrink this, all right, I can go a little bit longer here. So there he goes, right? But now he's running into trouble because his teammate that he would like to pass to is right here. But he is also covered by a defender that's blocked by the camera, by these other guys in the field. So as Nolan goes up in that corner, now he's going to get double teamed. What I don't understand is this dude. And then there's a defender here who's running backwards. That's a problem. Okay. The ball carrier has priority, and everybody in front of the ball carrier needs to go downfield. Why? Because we're drawing and dumping. We're drawing and dumping. We're drawing and dumping. If we don't have anybody to dump to and we draw someone else like Nolan did here because his team is playing Fortnite in their head, now Nolan is running into a 1-on-2 with his goalie stick. Okay. So poor Nolan here is now we're expecting Nolan to have the stick skills of an All-American attackman. Okay. But yet he has now run into, there's one of his teammates. Okay. So here's one of his teammates. Here's the other one. Here's the other one. And here's one. So if I do my math correctly, Nolan has now just run himself into a 3-on-5. Good luck, Nolan. Right? And so everybody on the sideline, when this play ends up and Nolan drops this ball because he's been hacked by like a piñata, all right, his teammates here are like, dude, why didn't you pass me the ball? Because I got a damn goalie stick. And the second I pull that stick behind my head, I'm going to get checked. So I did the best with what I could. But why the hell are you guys standing in the middle of the field? Who taught you that? Right? So that's where, we've always got to look back to the cause and not the symptom. A lot of people would look at this and go, hey, Nolan, man, you got to work on your stick skills. I'm like, no, Nolan's stick skills are fine if the team can help him set up. And it doesn't matter if it's Nolan or if it's somebody else, right? It could be a long pole, right? But the idea here is because it's the goalie. People are like, oh, dude, what'd you do that for? The goalie dropped the ball and he got scored on. No, the team totally let the goalie down. Now, we can back it up and say, okay, Nolan, if you had aced it out the backside of the crease better, then what happens is you're running right up in the middle of the field. But look at this dude. Look at this dude. I don't know if this will stay in the same spot, but he's like, he doesn't even move. He doesn't even move. Now, but Nolan, like you get to a point and you can't make that pass just because of like physics. All right. So the team has to be set up properly. And this is where like I've got an ancient video on YouTube that you guys can all watch called "An Easy Clear for Most Lacrosse Goalies." If you implement that clear with your team, even in a man down situation, your goalie is still going to succeed and you're going to clear the ball. But just a couple considerations here, okay? Now I apologize, Paul, if you're coaching this team and this is all on you. Sorry, dude. This is probably an uncomfortable dinner right now. Go get some ice cream, okay? But here, when a goalie makes a save on a man down situation, the clear has to happen quickly. Okay. Now we have 4 seconds, right? We got to use all of that 4 seconds. So 1001, I'm looking up field. Maybe I got one of these middies to actually kind of think for a second. And the second he hears my goalie yell clear, because like this, if we're man down, this midi should not be playing like that. All right. That middy's got to be dropping into the hole, helping out. He's face guarding 36. And I don't care if 36 is their best player. If you're man down and you're going to play like a box, like then why is this long pole way the heck over here? He should be like here, right? This long pole needs to be back here, right? If you're truly man down, because now that gives space and time and distance that maybe Nolan can get it to a short stick quicker in the first 2 seconds of possession, and they can run it out. That's great. But because they all look like they're kind of space cadets, now goalie makes this fantastic save. Like, Nolan, great job. Top of the crease, stuff, awesome, right? That's super cool. Like, that's I love seeing that, right? You got big, you made the save, now you got possession. Now, here, what are your options? There's nothing, right? But what you can't think of is like, okay, 1001, 1002. Now I'm backing out. You're looking upfield, which is fantastic. Every goalie should do that. But it's here where the mistake begins on the goalie's part. We got to back out right down the back of the cage, right down the pipe. Okay, we're going right down here, and then we're actually going to jump over the back of the cage and then head upfield. Okay, and then that attackman is going to take the long way around. That gives us space, and you can go straight upfield. Okay, that makes that work. Okay, and then where do you go? You run right to the guys in the middle of the field, because now you should be creating like probably like a 3-on-2 there, right here. So there's this is your midi, this is your midi, this is their attack, their midi, and their midi. So you run right to that, and you'll probably draw one of those black defenders, and you dump to the open defender or your open teammate, and now they're off to the races on like a fast break. Okay, that can happen. And man down fast breaks, dude, you scoring a man down fast break, that's like a dagger right into Flavor Town. Okay. So, all right. So that's what needed to happen there. But outside of that, so the other thing that can happen here, guys, man down clear. And so, Nolan, let's say you go to the back of the cage, but that attackman stays top side. Okay. And the goalie's here. And that can happen, right? But now we've got timing issues and we've got things. That's when a shorty needs to come down at you, right? A shorty needs to come down at you. And now that gets a little tough. So we're playing cat and mouse here, right? You're kind of going like, okay, which way are you going to come get me, dude? Right. And then he comes, he comes this way. And you're like, psych, and off you go. Right. Or vice versa. But that's what's got to help, because listen, as much as we love our goalie, if you're not some all-American attackman with that stick, you're going to have a rough go, right? If you're not Usain Bolt with the legs, right? Usain Bolt can't buy jeans at the Gap either because the inseam's too long, but you know what I mean, right? But this is where coaches put their athletes in like a tough position to succeed, and I always say, okay, go. It's even worse than the girls, right? If for any of you guys that have girls that are listening to me right now, the girls' clears are the worst, and I need to cover that in a future video, because what needs to happen is you got to have like a football progression of passing, and I've been talking that through with one of our Lacrosse Goalie University members on just that, because it's just it's a disaster. So should he got a penalty here? Yes, but should we have avoided that to begin with? Yes. Should we score off this man down clear? Sure. Right. Let's get the ball in the offensive zone and score. right? Not like, oh, I hope to get out of the defensive zone. No, it's like, dude, think about scoring and good things will happen. All right. I'm tired. How are you guys doing? It's 9:30 on the East Coast. I've been working all day on this. And you guys don't pay me for this, but I hope it helps. If it helps, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Send me a comment. Send me an email. Listen, I'd love to work with your goalie if we haven't done this already. If you just want to talk to me about your goalie, I do what I call breakthrough calls. No charge. lacrossegoalieuniversity.com/call. Okay. I'll do it with a parent and a goalie, not just a goalie. I'll do parent and a goalie. But if you want to talk about your goalie and get some really good advice, I'm happy to do that. If we work together someday, great. If we don't, that's totally cool too. But that's how it all starts. So I hope that you that this helps. What I would love to hear is how you implemented this in practice. Did you give this to your coach? Like, and the replay of this will be up. This probably will be up in probably Monday. But if you need Paul, I hope that was okay. I hope that was okay, and I hope you guys still love me. So Skarupa 7, it's Lacrosse Goalie University.com/call. Okay. Is this going to be on replay? Yep. It'll be up. The full replay will be up here in like an hour or so on Facebook. But then make sure you're on my newsletter and stuff like that, and you'll get those replays as well. Thank you to whoever that is. And Anne, I see you. Mary, I'm never tired. Ken Schwander, I appreciate that. Lauren, it'll be on replay. I see you there. Mary, see you later. Paul, this was great. Thank you. I've told Andy writes, I've told Holden to clear to where the clearing play says middies should be, or hit them in the back for not turning around. Yeah, there's that too. You just hit them right in the small of the back. That's a good one. But there's got to be a system in place, because otherwise your goalie's like totally left out to dry. So, Skarupa 7, no problem. Okay. O'Halligan, I see ya, and welcome. We're just wrapping up here. So, all right, if you're listening on iTunes, if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you do, subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you come get the cheat sheets at lacrossegoalieuniversity.com. Stay tuned for the merch. I'm kind of psyched. I had some cool I got a really good logo made. We're going to get some t-shirts and some hoodies and all that stuff done, some new bottles and things like that. And my favorite saying, if the team was so damn good, they wouldn't need a goalie, right? All right, everybody, have a great evening, and we'll see you in the group this week. Cheers, everybody. Bye. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening wherever you are. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. When you're ready, head on over to lacrossegoalieuniversity.com/coaching so I can work with you and your goalie. And while you're at it, check out athletespecific.com to learn more about mental performance and high performance. You may not know this, but I work with athletes in a variety of sports. Lacrosse is my love, but man, I love athletes and the families who support them. So head on over to athletespecific.com, check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.